Okay, and we are back and we are making waves day 2 after lunch. And you would think things would start slowing down here at DevSec Atlantic, but you know what? They're not. There's people still in great conversations. You can tell people are eager to get back at business, excited, quite frankly, to be back in person in a trade show. One of the coolest booths at DevSec right now is Modestry. They've really stepped up their game. They've got a whole corner section over there. It's inviting. There's a little lounge there. It's fantastic. I can't wait to get into the conversation with Modestry right now. Emily, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Emily Smits. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and also co-founder of Modestry, which is a Halifax-based company. We're predominantly in software development. We do a lot of digitalization focused on manufacturing, aerospace, and defense. And we've really been able to grow locally. We started 10 years ago. And so it's been a journey, and we're happy to be here today at DevSec.
Emily, how did you find yourself at this point in time? Where did you come from? Where did it all start?
Well, I came from a commerce business background, and then myself and my business partner, we came together and looked at the industry from an area of what's some of the efficiency and digitalization. So we started developing digital tools focused on training aspect, focused on how you're going to create an immersive training and immersive scenarios. I first started out in the defense-focused area for defense-related training, and then have since branched off as well into different areas, so we cover a wide number of industries now, from aerospace to defense to automotive to industrial manufacturing, because really it encompasses a lot of the digitalization aspect from the training perspective, but also how data comes into play when you're looking at areas like a digital twin, and looking at areas for how do you go and put digitalization to your work instructions, like your digital work cards, as we say. So that's really an expansion that has happened gradually over time on the digital tools as well as the service offerings that we provide at Modestry.
So you're digitizing the workflow or the data that's being created in companies, or both?
So what we do is we focus a lot on how you have your 3D models, and then the aspects that come with engaging with those 3D models from a training perspective or from an operational perspective. So a lot of the data flow that you get is associated with how you're going to, for example, assemble or disassemble components, where you're going to get sensor information and integrate that into a visualization type of environment. And then we've also done work on digital work cards, which is more aligned with how do you take PDF type of a document or instructional documentation and then bring it into an interactive digital type of a realm. So we've been working a lot on what are those different disconnected data sets that we can bring it into a cohesive digital ecosystem and really help with employee training and help with the workforce as we move into more and more of a digital focused age.
It's incredibly wide ranging, isn't it,
It's
Alan?
unbelievable, yeah. Is there a collision there between the gaming industry and the defense? Tell me about that.
That's a very interesting question, because a lot of the aspects of technology and some of the workforce as well at Modestry, it does have some synergies with areas of game development. So if you're looking at software developers, software development aspect, then you can leverage some of the skill sets that come with the gaming background type of environment. And where Modestry started is the game development aspects. My business partner as well came from a gaming development aspect, and then was able to together apply some of the methodologies in how you're creating training focused not on the gaming aspect, but on training and operational maintenance. And so in our early days, when we started 10 years ago, then we were looking at how we take gaming technologies and apply some of that methodology into real life training scenarios in a virtual environment. And so we still have a number of software developers that come from really focused game development type of a background, but really there's a lot of broad skills that come into play when you're talking about the full digitalization ecosystem. So we have 3D modelers on staff, we've got a wide range of software developers, and then looking at also training development expertise, and then those that are skilled in different projects and project management.
Emily, that's those are really interesting skills to bring into the defense industry for sure. Monastery must have a great team. Tell me a little bit about the team.
Yeah, our team is predominantly focused in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So we started in Halifax and have really tried to keep our team focused in Atlantic Canada. Last year during the pandemic, we also opened an office in New Brunswick. So we have an office in New Brunswick that has staff, and we're continuing to grow that office as well. And then we have representation in Europe and also in the US, because we have a lot of exports that are focused on digital tools for manufacturing and for large companies who are looking to really digitalize some of their core processes for employees and also for selling to their customers.
Yeah, Emily, when you were a young girl, I'm going to just deviate a little bit from the business side, but did you envision yourself leading a company like this? I'm just thinking of you speaking to some of the young ladies that are out there. What motivated you to move in this direction?
Well, it's interesting how things evolve over time, right? I wouldn't say I sought out to say I would like to co-found a software development company, focus on different industries and really, thriving in aerospace and defense as well. That wasn't, kind of top of mind as you're going through. I started with a commerce-focused background, project development, and then got more into more of the operational aspects. And from an entrepreneurial nature, then you continue to grow and expand as things go forward. And one of the things I would say is just be open to all the different avenues that are out there, because there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot in this industry, and there's a lot on the digitalization focus. With many companies that are here and that are helping to accelerate how we're adopting technologies and how we're moving forward in Canada.
I love the fact you have the business background. I did a business degree at Memorial, and we've had a lot of engineers sitting here. Not to knock any engineers, but when we went through business school, we'd always have a little bit of rivalry with the engineering side of it.
Right.
So anyway, pleasure having a business commerce grad.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Emily, a lot of good things happening right now in the defense and the marine sector. I mean, it's really kind of exploding here in Canada, and you can sense people are really eager to get down to it. Tell me about how you see the growth in this sector right now.
It's a very interesting time for the sector because there's a lot going on. There's a lot because of the national shipbuilding strategy and all of the spin-offs that happen associated with that. Monastery has worked on providing immersive applications that are used on Atlantic offshore patrol ships. We are really engaged in that industry as well, and we're seeing that overall the industry is growing, right? And that's really positive overall, and it's growing on many different aspects right in Canada.
Right.
So I've spoken with a number of local companies as well on how they've been able to grow, and it's quite inspiring how you can see that journey, and I mean Monastery is a part of that as well, because we were just a couple people 10 years ago, and have now grown to be more of an international export focused and company that is also located in Atlantic Canada.
What's your total employee complement now approximately?
We're growing in over 55 now, or 52 now, and growing continually as we go along, and
That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
the
that's
rising tide lifts all boats, as you
100%,
say, Alan.
right? Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunities, right? With all of this growth in the sectors, there's a lot of opportunities, and we're seeing right here that there's some really large tier one suppliers communicating with the small companies that are eager to kind of be a part of it. Modestry must be front and center in all of these conversations and how they can contribute to the overall shipbuilding strategy.
Yeah, that's definitely a core point of engagement is the shipbuilding strategy and how technology comes into play there, and how there's a lot of collaboration also across the industry, whether you're
100%,
collaborating with the shipyards or you're collaborating with other SMEs on providing technology tools and how that can really propel the industry forward.
Emily, I want to pick up on the word collaboration because we hear that a lot. With a lot of the people we talk to, it's all about collaboration. What is it about Atlantic Canada that makes us want to collaborate so much? We really want to work together. What is it about that?
I think one of the aspects that makes it a collaborative type of environment is that there's a growth focus and there's an understanding that there is a lot going on in the industry and that we could do more together.
Right.
And there's also a variety of skill sets which have good synergies across the board in order to provide more in unification with others.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be here, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it really is an exciting time to be in this moment, in the shipbuilding, in the marine, in the defense sector. There's a lot of good things over the horizon. You said that you were on the Arctic Offshore Patrol ships, or you got involvement with that, did you mention?
Yes, so there was an announcement before made in collaboration of providing the a virtual training solution, which is under Irving provided that with for us it was through MAN Energy Solutions. So providing immersive experience. We provide also training scenarios to a variety of defense contractors, and also in the shipbuilding industry. That's a core area of collaboration as well.
Have you been on board the Arctic Offshore Patrol ships yet?
I have not.
Yeah. So I'd encourage that and go down and meet some of the people that are kind of getting the results of your technology, going through your training. You'd be so amazed, and you look into their eyes and how excited they are to be walking on Canada's latest, greatest platform. You're a big part of that. That must make you feel good.
Well, when you go down and experience what's going on, locally or in the shipyard, it's really interesting to see all of the local providers that have been a part of that together on how the strategy really encompasses across Canada and what the industry is able to provide together.
Jerry, your final thoughts?
It's funny. I can't help but think about my own career as I listen to you talk, because I think probably the most enjoyable parts of my career have been training others to be better at what they're doing. And when I look at your card, training evolved. Kudos to you for creating something that's going to help people be better. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity today, and it's a pleasure to be here in person.
Oh, well, listen, it was a wonderful conversation here on Making Waves. Modest trees making a difference, and I keep going back, occasionally throughout my conversations over the last couple of weeks. Admiral Brian Santarpia talked about service, and oftentimes we think of service of people in uniform, but he flipped it on its head to us, and certainly he did last night at the gala dinner. And that the people in this room are they're serving their country, they're making this a better industry, they're providing better solutions to our country to make it a better, safer place, and you're a big part of that, Emily, and so thank you very much for what it is that you do. We certainly appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you.